In this video, I'm going to show you how to create some reports inside of an application that you've built in Oracle Apex. So first thing I'm going to do is actually go back to our SQL workshop, and I'm going to go to our query builder, and I'm going to go grab the SQL that was created by this interface when we created this query. So I've got a save statement, my passenger query that I built here, and I'm going to select the SQL tab, and I'm going to go ahead and just copy this statement that the application wrote for us. Now that I've copied the select statement here, I'm going to go back to our application builder, and I'm going to select the ship application that I'm working on. I'm going to go ahead and create a page. I'm going to make this a report page. I'm going to select interactive report, and we'll see why in just a moment. Then I need to give my report page a name. We'll just call this passenger report. And then we'll set the tab, and we'll just make our tab label the same as our page name here. Select passenger report. And now I'm going to paste that SQL statement in here that I copied, and this will be the basis for our report. We could tell the interface to uniquely identify rows by the passenger ID if we wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and just allow it to use its default row ID mechanism. And then we see we get to our confirmation page where it says, are you sure you want to create this thing? I'm going to go ahead and finish. And now we can actually run the page from right here, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Now you can see in our application, we've actually created a new tab here called Passenger Report. And one of the great things about these interactive reports is they come with this built-in functionality that allows us to dynamically apply filters and groupings and functions like that, and then we can actually save these off in multiple iterations, so we could actually create several reports from this one interactive report page. So just going down through the functions that are available here, we can choose to display or not display certain columns. So if, for instance, I didn't want the telephone number on for this particular report, I can go ahead and do that. And then obviously if I wanted it back, it's as easy as just going back into the interface and adding it back to the report. Also, we can apply filters to our report. So for instance, if I only wanted our passenger ID equal to 1, I could do that, and our report would be filtered by that value. We can also use a little more complex filters here if we like. I select passenger name contains Perkins, and when we apply that, we get just our two John and Sally Perkins passengers here. Other things we can do with this interface is operations like group bys. So for instance, we could come in and group by passenger city and passenger name. And if we applied that, we could see all of the passengers from the various cities that they came from. And then, if we want to remove this, we can just click the edit group by and delete that and go back to sort of our standard report. Other functions available to you are the ability to do things like sum, and although we don't necessarily have a value on here that is appropriate to sum, we can at least demonstrate that functionality by using our passenger ID field. And if we apply that, you can see that it actually sums up these values on our report. So you can see these interactive reports are very handy in that they allow you to create dynamic reports that can be saved in several different iterations. And so you can actually use one page to create a whole series of reports on the data from inside your application.